Hey. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. I was a little bit sleepy today. I took a nap. But otherwise I'm doing okay. Not much to complain about, which is good. Except I can't open my string cheese. That's a problem. Sammy and Molly say hi. Hey guys. Hi Sam. How was school today? So I'm just getting situated. Sammy is amazed that you're talking to him. I know, that's pretty fancy. I talk to most of my people. He can't even respond. But if he can just have you type it, maybe, while I eat my string cheese. Oh. I'm gonna color on you. Okay, have fun. A red marker, huh? I'm standing back. I'm afraid. So, I decided to do like a Q&A where people that come on can ask me questions, but I'm also going to ask questions too. So it's going to be really fun for all of us, probably. So that's good. What's good? My idea? Did you hear No. No, I did not. Well, the only thing that I've heard about is, well, the biopsy of the fluid is what I'm assuming that you're referring to. And the only thing that I've heard about is that the levels were still weird, just like they were the day before. And they really shouldn't have done 2 paracenteses back to back because they're testing the fluid, and the fluid isn't going to change much in 24 hours. So that was a little not smart because it was like the same results. So they're waiting to have, they're gonna, maybe on Friday, they might do another one and test it again and see if they get other results. But they do say that they're not that worried about it. It's just kind of a little silly to me. How fun for you. I know, it is so fun. You know, just, I love being poked. It's really good. But, whatever. Oh, wow. Do you know what is abnormal about the flu? Okay. So, I'm going to try to explain this without being a doctor, but they measure, in the fluid, they measure, like, the proteins and something else. I remember proteins was one. Oh. Something else. I can't think of the word. Anyway, it helps them discover if the fluid is retaining because of my heart or because of my liver, which I'm not sure why it matters. We know both of them are bad. So anyway, the numbers that they got when they did the paracentesis were inconclusive. Like, it doesn't really give them a definite, like, thing saying, like, oh, it's for sure the heart or for sure the liver, because they were not strong on either way. Like, either way, they weren't, like, mostly, whatever. They weren't numbers that were saying it was the liver, and they weren't numbers that were saying it was the heart, which is kind of strange for them, I guess. Usually they can tell. Well, that's what I told them. I was like, it's probably both. I don't know. Or maybe, like, when I eat, it doesn't know where to go. So it just sits in there. I don't know. I don't understand, like, why this is suddenly a problem to them, because all these years that I've been retaining fluid, and then now it's suddenly a problem for them, and they need to find out why. True. Probably the mini Coke. I did not think about that. Good thinking. Sugar and acid. Where's the sugar and acid coming from? In high fructose corn syrup? What? Oh my goodness, you're silly. I have not seen him since Saturday. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't see him walking. Okay, Sammy can eat me. That's fine. But I'm assuming he's still in the room down there. I don't see him when I walk. So, I guess we just keep praying for him. I hope he's doing okay and feeling okay. Technically, yeah, I could. But it's like, it makes me a little bit nervous just because I do have a nice home, thank you. Because I don't know, like, if he's resting and stuff, I don't want to, like, knock on his door. You know, things like that. Like, I'm the type of person where my curtain is usually open. But, he's not. Like, his curtain's always closed. So that's why I feel a little bit nervous. If his curtain was open, like mine, when I'm awake, then maybe I would feel a little differently. And I usually leave my doors open, too. But I don't know. Maybe I'll run into his wife again. It's my phone. I'm getting a phone call. Sorry. I don't know if you could hear that. I'm using my phone. No, I can't answer it when I'm on a chat. Because I'm using my phone to do this video. It's Mom, though. So if she's home, you talk to her. You're asking a lot of questions about my personal life. Just kidding. I can say that. That was my sister. Well, I was going to talk about something. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Thanks, Dad. So I was gonna talk about fear and some things about fear, because it has been almost a month since I've been in the hospital waiting for the heart and liver transplant, and it's feeling like real, because, you know, it's been a month. So I'm thinking about it more often, about what's actually going to happen and everything. And it would be lying if I said that I wasn't afraid. So I'm not going to say that because I don't lie. But, yeah, so I thought, like, we could talk about fear today. And, we can, if anyone wants to share things that maybe right now that they're going through that they have fear about, you can share if you want to. If you don't want, I mean, like, if you don't mind sharing, like, with everybody, because the comment would be public, but, and I'll share, and then, stuff like that, and you can ask questions, too, and maybe I'll ask questions, too, so, I'm sure you guys are wondering what I'm afraid of. Or, like, you want me to share what I'm afraid of. And I think that the thing that I'm afraid of is a bigger picture of the unknown. But still I'm afraid of, like, all the little things that, like, make up that big picture. So I'm afraid of the unknown about the surgery, how it will actually go down, and how well it will be, and how successful it will be. I'm afraid of recovery. I'm afraid of going home and continuing to recover, but also trying to stay healthy and trying not to reject the organs. Are you with her? Are you with my mom? And I don't know. This is weird. Oh, you're on the phone with her. Okay. Hi, Mom. This is weird, but, like, I'm afraid of, like, not feeling good and not liking it. So those are my fears. What about you? What are you afraid of? I have some verses about fear that I like, and if you have some that you want to share, you can. But John 14:27 says, "Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Do you think the new life will be more painful and difficult than the current heart life? Okay, it's gonna be different. And I think that's one thing that I'm afraid of. Like, because good question, Malal. Good question. I'm afraid of adjusting to a different life, because I know that the one that I have now is hard and that I don't feel good. But I also have heard that it's gonna be hard. Like, recovery will be hard, and, like, you know, all of that stuff, taking care of yourself afterwards, trying to stay healthy, trying to stay like, away from germs and away, and, you know, taking the medicine so you don't reject the organs. Like, all of that is going to be very complicated, and I think that it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a different kind of feeling, I think, if that makes sense. And they say the first year is the hardest. So knowing that for the next year I'm going to be dealing with stuff, maybe that's what also feels hard and scary, is like, a year sounds like a long time. So, yes. Good question. Any other questions or anything? Sammy has a word of encouragement. Okay, good. I could use it. It's gonna be great. Tell her, Mom, it's gonna be great. Tell her. Okay. Thanks, Sam. It is gonna be great. You're right. And I have to keep remembering that. Okay, good verse. I like that one. Yeah, I muted it for a minute. I might have to again if there's something going on. I'm back. Hello to Joseph. All right, what else? Is the band starting to play? No. But you know what? Oh. Yeah, you can come in. Okay, sorry about that. Are there couples in your room dancing? No. Question. What does praying look like for you these days? Like, praying for me or me praying? Sorry. How would you encourage someone going through the same thing as you who feels afraid? God sightings yet. Okay, that's a lot of questions. First, I don't know what you mean about the first question. Like, do you mean like me praying or others praying for me? And the next question, oh man. Well, I don't always know the right things to say to people. Okay, sorry. I'm seeing your responses now. I did not see them before. Yeah, exactly. Too many questions. Okay, let me sort my thoughts out. Let me answer this one first. I don't always know what to say to encourage people, but I was able to connect with someone in another state who is technically also in heart failure. She is a friend of mine, and our mutual friend kind of hooked us up so that we could encourage each other, I guess. And and anyway, so I was messaging with her, I don't know how many days ago, but just trying to feel it out and see where she was in her faith and with what she's dealing with. And she's really struggling. Like, I don't blame her, but she's really struggling with understanding her faith in it, and then understanding why things happen, like why God allows these things to happen. And so I kind of first I just like felt it out. Like, I wanted to know what she believes about God. Like, not just do you believe in God, but like, what are the promises that she's holding on to right now? And then if I could think of more promises that are special to me or important to me in my time of need, like, I would share them with her. And so I was able to do that, and she was able to share like some things she's struggling with, like emotionally and mentally, and it's different than me, but it's not, but I've been there. Like, I've had the same thoughts that she's having, and so I was able to meet her where she was and help her, or help speak truth to her, like God's truth. So I hope that was encouraging for her. And I just think anytime that God puts somebody in my path in that type of situation, in a similar situation, that I'm going to be able to do that, where I can talk to them and encourage. And I think that's one thing that's so cool about when we go through hard times. And this morning I was watching another YouTube channel with Tessie, and she was talking about how God will put the people in our paths. Sorry. Hold on. She said, Tessie was saying how God will put people on our paths to to encourage us, and that He allows us to go through certain things so that we will be able to be there for others and experiencing life in different ways that other people will need, like our experience and our encouragement. So I agreed with her when she was talking about that today, because I've seen that happening, where I've been able to do that myself, and other people have been able to do it for me too. So it's kind of cool. God uses our situations to be a blessing to other people. Now, prayers for my prayers, if that's the question, I believe. You praying, what do your prayers look like? Okay. So, do you mean praying for myself or like praying for other people? I don't have, in the hospital, I don't have like a specific time set aside where I stop everything and pray. It's probably not a bad thing to do that. It's just sometimes things are unpredictable here, so I try to be flexible. I pray like all the time as things are popping in my head. When I feel afraid, I pray. When I feel sad, whether it's sad about something going on with myself or around me, like at the hospital or something like that, I pray. And then I also am constantly looking for good things to be thankful for. And it's easier than people think, I guess. Good question. Is he responding to my prayers, or do I feel like he's quiet right now? I don't think he's quiet, because I have been through times where I felt like he was quiet. And for some reason, I don't think he's quiet right now. And one reason being that I'm not quiet, so don't make any comments, Dad. No, I'm just saying, like, I tend to shut down when I feel like God is quiet. But when I feel like he's doing something, then I'm not quiet. Like, I'm able to talk more. And, because I feel like there's a purpose. You're so funny, Daddy. Anyways, moving on. You guys just, like, ruined my whole story. Oh, no, she gets me. Okay, so basically, I don't feel like God's being quiet right now. I feel like I'm constantly being reminded by friends and family members and even complete strangers that God is using me, and that he has a plan in all of this. And just because I don't know what the plan is or how it's going to really look the next year, it doesn't mean that he's not using it. And so that excites me, because I've been able to see already that he's using my situation to be a blessing to other people. And that's all I can ask, because if I have to go through a hard time, I would want it to be for him, like for his glory, and so that people could see who he is. If I'm afraid and hiding, then I feel like I'm not okay, I guess, like, it's not coming out the right way, but I think, like, if I'm afraid and I'm hiding, then I feel like I'm not being bold and showing where my faith is. So I try to not be quiet, even though Daddy wants me to be quiet sometimes when we're in the car. Just kidding. Any God sightings this week? Man. I feel like it's every day. I'm not even kidding. There's little things. And to me, like, it can be like the smallest thing, and it like makes a big deal to me. Today, the doctor that has been making rounds this week is not my transplant doctor. It's a different one. So for an example of God sightings or whatever, she was in my room talking to me today, and I don't know how many times she's been in my room or how many times she's talked to me. A lot. But today, as she was about to leave, she saw something that my niece had made for me with a Bible verse on it, and she stopped and she read it, and then she kept walking out the door. But then she quickly turned around and came back in, and then she asked me if I had heard of two famous female Christian authors, and I said yes, that I've heard of them, and she asked me if I liked to read and that she owned a lot of their books if I wanted to read any of them. And so I thought that was kind of cool because it was just neat. Sometimes it's good to feel like there's other people here with me, like other believers, and we don't all wear our faith on our sleeves like I do. Like, I don't walk around, I mean, all the doctors don't walk around with like their shirts like, you know, I love Jesus and naps like I do, or their Bible verse shirts or whatever. But I just feel like when God prompts somebody like that doctor, or there have been nurses or whatever, you know, to talk to me about my faith, like, it feels good, and it kind of like reminds me like, okay, you know, stay strong, you're doing the right thing. And so that would be, if you can call it that, like a God sighting for today. And there we go. Sandra's Homespun Life. Hello. Thanks for joining. So yeah, what other God sightings can I tell you about? Well, yesterday, now this is going to be kind of different, a different kind of story than today's. Yesterday, my nurse, my nurse yesterday, sweet girl, she, you know, she's very energetic, and I don't even know if I've had her before, like as a nurse necessarily. I mean, I see her in the halls, so I talk to her, but I don't really remember if I've had her for a nurse. But anyway, she was my nurse yesterday, and she just did a really outstanding job. And I just felt like God was like kind of like saying to me, like when he was calming everything, because I was feeling, well, you guys know, because I did a post yesterday or whatever, so if you've seen it, you know, I have had like a rough last several days where I not only wasn't feeling well, but they were doing like different tests and things, and it was so frustrating for me. So yesterday, this nurse was my nurse, and she took care of like 3 things that were really weighing on me, and little, like, one of them was so tiny, like not a big deal, but she just like actually took action. And I felt like, hi Tessie, I did a shout out to you earlier. I used your words that you had spoken earlier on your channel, or yeah, on your prayer and praise earlier. Right, exactly. Like God sent her to me. So let me share that real quick. So the first thing that happened was, okay, in the morning, well, for those of you, I don't know if you remember, all of you would remember, but for those of you that have been following me for a little while, when I first got admitted a month ago, I was admitted with the rhinovirus, so I was pretty sick and was having migraines and, you know, sinus pressure and all of that. And they had me on Mucinex, and fine, that's great, and that was very helpful, but they were still giving it to me, and I've been free from that virus for weeks, like at least 2 weeks. But they were still giving it to me, and like every day I would tell the nurses, like, you know, I don't need that anymore, you can take it off my med list. And I guess, you know, it's busy here. I'm on an ICU floor, so of course it's busy here, and it would be forgotten. And the next day it would happen again, where they would try to give me the medicine again. And I was just being patient, and I would just keep saying it, like, I don't, Okay. I would be patient about the whatchamacallit. What's that stuff called? Mucinex. Sorry. And, I just would deal with it. Anyway, but this nurse took action yesterday and went and told the doctor and said she doesn't need to be taking the Mucinex anymore. Can you please take it from her list, from her med list, so it stops coming to her room. And I was just so thankful that she did that for me, because I have been saying it for weeks and it just wasn't getting done. And, you know, just the fact that she was, like, proactive in that way, like, that was very helpful. Another thing she did was, you might remember, I had, okay, so how they do the dressing on my, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I can't tell if you can see it. The dressing on my PICC line is clear, and it's like all rashy. They were using a dressing that I became allergic to, or I was allergic to, and they were supposed to take note of that and not use it again. Well, when they were pulling the PICC line out of, anyway, they did an x-ray of my chest, saw that the PICC line was too close to my heart, and then they had to, like, pull it down a little bit, and that's why you can see so much of the purple. They had to, like, really pull it down. But anyway, they dressed it with the wrong dressing, the one that I'm allergic to, or that I had the reaction to. And I made a comment and I said, I'm not really supposed to have that dressing because I think I'm allergic to it. And they were just like, oh, you are? It doesn't say that you are anywhere on your paperwork. And I was like, well, I think that's what it was that I was allergic to, but I'm allergic to adhesives, so maybe it was just the tape. Like, I don't know. So anyway, they redressed it this time and had used that same, I think it's called HCG dressing. It's like a microbial pouch in it. Anyway, they were like, well, maybe it is just the adhesives, let's wait and see. They didn't take it off and change it again. They just left on the one that I thought I was allergic to. And yes, so yesterday I told my nurse that I was really itchy and it was red. It looked red and irritated. And she was like, yeah, if you're allergic to that, they should not be putting that on you. And I said, well, I told them I was, but it maybe was like a mistake, or I don't know if they thought maybe it was just the adhesive I was allergic to, because I am allergic to adhesives. But sometimes there's no other way around it. Like, you have to have, you know, the dressing on, and that's adhesive, unfortunately. But anyway, so she ended up changing it for me, took off the one I'm allergic to, put on this new one, and yeah, you can see how it's like all, I think you can see it, how it's all blotchy and itchy. Well, you can't see that it's itchy, but it is. Anyway, she said take the Mucinex off her med list, and second of all, she's allergic to that type of dressing, and it needs to be on her record that we're not supposed to be using it. So the doctor did that. She put it in my chart, okay? And the nurse came back in and she told me that the doctor took care of it, and the nurse wrote on my board, do not, like really big letters, do not use the HCG dressing. She is allergic to it. So I just thought that was really cool, because I don't want to nag people. Like, I'm not a nagging kind of person, and I'm not really one that's going to complain about, like, smaller things like that. If it was, like, a bigger deal thing, then maybe I would complain. But, you know, there's people here that are really, really sick, and I don't think I'm really, really sick, because I can function a lot by myself. So just, you know, that kind of stuff. I feel like, I know, sometimes you have to nag to be heard, and fortunately, it was just the right nurse. You know, she just took action, and she's good at what she does, and she just did it. But the third thing that was really cool about having her yesterday, so I had those days where I wasn't feeling well. I was feeling lightheaded. I was feeling very tired, and I was feeling like kind of like weak, and I could not figure out why. I was so frustrated because all I wanted to do was sleep. I didn't walk as much, and I didn't know if I was getting a bug or if something was wrong. And then the same nurse, as I'm telling this to her, I was like, I haven't really been feeling well the last several days and whatever. And she's like, well, just seriously, off the top of her head, this is what she says to me. Well, you've been taking more Xanax with everything going on. And I just sat there and I was like, why did I not even think about that? I'm almost positive it was the Xanax that was making me feel like that, because I'm very sensitive to it, and I take it at bedtime so that my brain stops thinking and I can go to sleep. And then in the daytime, whenever they would do something like a procedure or whatever with my PICC line, or when they did the paracentesis on both of them, I would take Xanax for those, because they're not like anesthesia. They don't give you anesthesia. And for the CAT scan, I would. Okay. And plus, with the CAT scan, they gave me, hold on. They had to pre-medicate me because I have like a reaction to contrast. So, I know, I like to keep it interesting. So I had to take like Benadryl for that too. So not only did I have all that Xanax in my system, I also had Benadryl and steroids in my system. So, anyways, what was I going to say about that? I lost my train of thought. Oh, anyway, so she just said that it could be the Xanax. Like with my system, it was like the way that my heart pumps, it doesn't pump like a healthy heart or a normal heart would pump. So it's not getting through like how medications and things go through your kidneys and your liver, and they, you know, everything gets processed. Mine doesn't process it the same, so it's going to be slower. And so Xanax or Benadryl or whatever is going to stay in my system a little bit longer. And in the daytime, I would tell them, give me half a pill of the Xanax. And even though they would usually give me the bigger half. If they were cutting a pill and it didn't cut completely perfectly in half, they would just give me the bigger half of the pill. And so then I would take it just because I wanted the help and I was nervous for whatever was going to go on. And yeah, so she just, like, off the top of her head, she just said, well, you have been taking more Xanax lately. And I was like, oh my word. Like, I just felt so... Are you there? Yeah, I think time is still going. I do this on my phone, and so when I get calls and stuff, I can't, like, take them, and then it, like, messes up my screen for a minute. But, anyway, still here. Okay, thanks. So, it was just neat. Like, that was... My sister was asking for examples of God sightings, and I just felt like, you know, I don't know much about that nurse. Like, I don't know if she's a Christian. I don't know any of that stuff, but just the fact that she was really with it yesterday was very encouraging to me, because I felt like I got results and answers that I had been, like, praying about. I just felt kind of helpless for a few days. Like, I needed someone to be in my corner and to get me for a little bit, you know, when I didn't feel well. And she just jumped right in and helped. And that was awesome. But yeah, it's a daily thing, pretty much, that I can see little things that God is doing, and I'm always able to get excited about even small things. You know, maybe they would feel really small if I was just at home with, like, my regular life going on, but because my life is quieter right now, like, I can appreciate like the small things. Like today, I accidentally got over to. I wanted to tune into Tessie's prayer and praise, and because I missed it like every time, and I wasn't thinking, and I had thought that she had said noon, so I was thinking noon my time, and I went over there late, and so I was disappointed in myself that I did that, and um, but I just thought, like, even though I was late, like it was very encouraging, like just the fact that I could go, I was able to see, well, she was speaking, but then all these comments of all these people that are, praying for each other and encouraging each other, and I just thought, wow, like, yeah, totally, there are good people there, and that is like a neat place to be, and so I just felt really blessed by that. I don't know, maybe when I'm recovered and all is back to somewhat normal and I'm a mom again, I might not have the time to do that, but just, the fact that I was able to do it for even a little bit today was encouraging to me. So yeah. I don't know. What else? Any other good questions? Those were good ones. I feel like I'm talking a lot, though. So if anybody wants to share anything publicly. Oh. One of my favorite verses is Exodus 14:14 is the Lord himself will fight for you. You just only need to be still. Hold on, I just missed someone's comment. Oh, just kidding. Go back. God is good, even in the midst of our pain. That is so true. It is true. And I think that we get afraid of pain. It's so normal for us to feel afraid of what's happening. It's uncomfortable, I guess. And so when we go through something that's hard or painful, our first reaction is not necessarily to look for God and look for joy, but he brings those things. He brings joy and he brings peace and blessings in the midst of all of that. When I feel overwhelmed, I look to God for my help. Amen. That's good. I thank God for you being the witness that you... Oh, thank you. In case you missed what she said, Exodus 14:14. Yeah, did I not say that? I'm sorry. Or did I talk too fast? Yeah, one of my favorite verses is Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You just need to be still. I like that one. Let's see, what else? What's another good one? I love, like, all the verses that, oh, you like to see it in print. Thanks, Dad. Got it. And probably because I talk fast. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so here's something kind of cool and encouraging. You know the verse that says, the joy of the Lord is my strength? I used to be really confused about that. Because I would think that, like, I was supposed to feel joyful in order to feel strong. And then one of my sisters pointed out to me that no, that verse is not saying that. The verse is saying, the joy of the Lord is my strength. So then I thought, okay, well, what if I'm not really making him happy right now? Like, what if he's disappointed in me? Which, first of all, my God isn't a God like that. Like, he doesn't sit there shaking his finger at me like, you did something naughty, or whatever. Like, he's a compassionate God and a loving God. So he doesn't work that way. He's, full of joy. Just in what I can do for him, bringing him joy. And so the way that I look at that verse and the way that it encourages me now is the joy of the Lord, which means when God is happy, that can give me strength, because all that matters is that God is happy. And he is happy when I'm giving him the glory. So if I don't feel good, but I'm still giving him the glory, then he's happy. And then it goes full circle, because then it can bring back the strength for me. He can be my strength. Ooh, another good verse, and I don't know the reference off the top of my head. The Lord is my strength and my song. Sorry, I don't know the reference. But my kids had to learn that one for church. And I just think about, like, when my daughter was, like, really little, like 3, I think, and she was doing it. The Lord is my strength and my song. But, yeah, so if any of you know the references to these verses that I'm saying, go ahead and put them up there. What else? Any other questions? What about you guys? Do you have anything that you want to share about this? Well, I was sort of like talking about fear and then answering questions. So if you have anything related to those, or not related even, you can share. Like random questions even, like just, what did I eat for lunch today? Just kidding. Unless you really want to know, but I'm gonna get a drink of water. Oh, that was good. I've been talking for a long time and not drinking. Well, all right. Those of you that like to hang out on YouTube, don't forget to check out, maybe Tessie or David, can you put the like the channel or link or whatever below or on the comments? You guys can check out the prayer and praise, and even just the, you know, hanging out with Tessie. She's fun. And I don't always get to do it. Actually, I think I've only been live with her once or twice, but I watch them later when I miss it. But yeah, that's really fun and encouraging to be in that group. And then not in it. Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Okay. So they could just click though, like on where your comments are. It would just say it like, me? Go to the 3 dots on the side. Okay, maybe I will do it. But if you want to check them out, click on them, and then okay. Right. So if you go, whether you check one out or both out, you'll find them. Right? Am I safe to say that? Don't forget to check out my nephew. He's got his YouTube channel where he shares his art and some of his songs. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know if he really shares songs or if I made that up. I know he did one time at least, or 2 times. But Draw with Victor is my nephew, so check him out if you haven't already. Oh, thank you, Tessie. I love you guys too, and I really appreciate all the encouragement. Okay, Dad is saying, anyone and everyone, mouse on a comment. 3 dots appear. Click on the dots and choose go to channel. So there you go. That works. Yes, he does have talent. He gets it all from me. Just kidding, he doesn't. I'm not talented like that at all. But I'm one of his biggest fans because he's so cool. He does really great work. He gets it from my dad's side of the family. What? Why did you say ahem? Yes. I do not have creativity and artistic. Yes, his grandfather. He gets it from his grandfather. That's true, actually. And my aunts are very good at art and painting and drawing and everything. They used to make me paper dolls when I was little. It was so cool. TJ, are you still there? Still there? Because you can make yourself a moderator or whatever you have to do. But you also need to share your t-shirt thing. You take credit for my creativity, or the lack of it. Anyways, so he also designs t-shirts and sells them through a company. And he has designed the t-shirts that you have probably seen on here. Not this one, but the one where it has the heart with the band-aids on it and it has the verse on it. He heals the brokenhearted and bandages their wounds. So my nephew designed that one too. And he sells it. So if you want it, you can get it. It's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm going to sign off because I've been on almost an hour. And I should probably go walk again. But I am... Oh my word, that's such a good idea. That's a really good idea for people's channels, or even like, yeah. Huh. Yeah, different things that the different channels are about or whatever. Like, I just requested to him, like, I knew the verse that I wanted, and then I was like kind of like thinking of an idea, and then he will tell you that I was a little bit picky and, you know, hard to please, but it turned out working out because people loved them and tons of people have bought them. So oh, okay, have fun, Daddy and Mommy. Oh, that's cute. Alrighty. Well, thanks again. I don't know if any of you are on Facebook. Let me know. I'm on Facebook too, and I do live posts on Facebook too. And I don't usually put the same ones up. Like, so I might post here, but then if I post one on Facebook, I don't necessarily post it to YouTube. But if you're on Facebook and you want me to add you as a friend, let me know. And I will. And then we can share praise and prayers through there too. Alrighty? Well, I hope you guys have a good day, a good rest of your day. I don't know what time it is, but thank you for coming and talking to me and hanging out for a little bit. And don't forget to check out those channels that we talked about, and to come back and check me out again soon too. And as soon as I have more updates, we will... Oh my word, you're silly. Alright, as soon as I have more updates, I'll let you guys know. Yes, praying for you too. Talk to you guys later.